Tillamook County. They are Tillamook County's official victim assistance program. According to Monica, she's not a mandated reporter and she has zero training. None. According to her, the things that I was sent to them for, as per usual, it's not what they do, not what they do, not what they do. They ignore victims, that's what they do. Monica showed that she was definitely being sexist and also very much making it about her. Now, she didn't have to say sexist things, her demeanor showed sexism. Now, the things that she said, if she's Tillamook County's official victims assistance program, these people won't look at evidence or help turn it in. How can they help turn it in? She says, oh, I know it exists. When I said, hey, I need you to know that the evidence exists. I don't want you to believe me. I want you to know. She says, oh, I know it exists. Well, then good, you can verify it. Obviously, she doesn't know that it exists. She hasn't looked at any of it. She wants to explain to me how the courts work. No, that's not how they work. It's how they're supposed to work, but without somebody like you who is supposed to be an advocate actually doing what an advocate is supposed to do. Well, you need to drop the title. You're misrepresenting the situation, and Tillamook County is misrepresenting their victims assistance programs. These are not victims assistance programs. These are scrub-offs and blow-offs and bullshit. See, that's the thing. All these fucking agencies want to refuse to look at fucking evidence. Force me to try to do it in a way that I don't have the ability to do it, and they all know it. Does Tides of Change get taxpayer dollars for not having any mandated reporters? Does Tides of Change accept money from any of the taxpayers in the state of Oregon or the federal government? Is Tides of Change a non-profit? How can they be a non-profit if they are Tillamook County's official? That's right, official place that we're supposed to go. So I gotta play the recordings with her, all of them, and I gotta, well, like I said, I make sure I record everything. My predators took away my ability to do the things that these son of a bitches are asking. They get to victimize me because I'm not fucking capable of doing these things myself. This is not fucking okay. I don't have the ability to do these things myself. Someone needs to actually advocate. That means they have to speak up. That means they have to look at fucking evidence and speak up. So yeah, we need to have an inquiry on why the fuck there are services that don't help people. Why the fuck do we have advocates that literally do not and will not advocate? Why do we have untrained individuals in this position? And why are these untrained non-professionals your official bullshit for Tillamook? I gotta call it bullshit. I gotta call it how it fucking is. It's bullshit. Now, when Monica wanted to just make it about her, that shows what? That shows that she is trying to play victim. She already knows she fucked up big. Now, don't get me wrong, I didn't mind taking the blame and apologizing when I thought that I was wrong. It turns out I wasn't fucking wrong. I mean, sure, the mandated reporter thing, yeah, but the fucking bullshit at all these goddamn services, no, definitely just bullshit. How the fuck are any of these goddamn pieces of shit going to be able to help me if they're not going to look at evidence? If they're going to make every fucking excuse not to? See, she wanted to change what she had originally said about how she couldn't look at it unless the police were there. And then she wanted to change that. Oh, I never said that. But then when we ask her again, she wants to fucking sidestep the shit out of every goddamn thing. Sidestep the fucking question, why don't you? No, you are hiding things. Never trust an adult who wants you to keep secrets. I'm not keeping your fucking secrets. They get people killed. All right. Although we should finish up the thing with Martinez yesterday, and although I do need to go and take care of this stuff to try to, well, the gentleman at Fred Meyer said that he would take a look. I don't put all my eggs in one basket. I've had plenty of people that have said that before, and last minute never did nothing, never showed up. I don't have the ability to do this paperwork myself. I've got a printer in the back, just nowhere to set it up. It is 3:23, so it's getting pretty late in the day. I've got $11 to fucking try to do something on. I got Fred Meyer's as a grand total of about the only fucking place that I can go sit down, use the internet, and because it's a Starbucks, be there for any decent amount of time. I'm showing you why your system doesn't work. I am showing you why predators get away with doing this shit. These places all play fucking stupid. They need to stop playing stupid with the fucking victims. That doesn't just include Tides of Change. All of these services should be aware of what the other services do by now, because they've been sending people to these other services long enough. If I can show up in a homeless community and within a few days get multiple stories about those situations, well, the cops can do their fucking jobs. They're not gonna. Recordings with Monica from today. We was gonna try. But you don't understand that, yes, I need someone to actually fucking advocate for me. Not someone who's gonna fucking... Seriously, for like 20 minutes, she fucking beat around the bush about that simple goddamn question. No, she's fucking hiding something. Never trust an adult who asks you to keep secrets. I don't trust Tommy, he's dishonest. I don't trust Molly, she's dishonest. Tom admits to me that he's the one that had the tie. Did he ever tell Molly? No, he lied to her. Told her that he found it behind Goodwill. Why is he lying to her about it if it's his? Why am I being victimized as if I'm the one that fucking took it? These people expect me not to be frustrated. I've been here for 3 goddamn weeks, going through 3 goddamn weeks of this, being victimized by the fucking cops. Yes, that is fucking harassment. That officer yesterday wanted to fucking lie to me. So yet again, here I am. No fucking advocate. She doesn't give a fuck what people are doing to me. She makes it a multiple fucking choice thing. Here's the thing, is that all of these decisions come with fucking consequences. And she wants to make it into a... what do you call it? Well, she showed she's not actually interested. That's the thing, is that for for weeks. Weeks. I've been trying to get help. And, you know, this is all stuff that it would be nice to know ahead of time. She wants to change her mind about what she said about looking at evidence. And then instead of looking at evidence, she wants to argue. I'm going to tell you something. If I have a video, and in that video, Tony shoots Emily, and it is on video. I have video evidence of it. Video evidence of Tony shooting Emily in the head. And I need someone to take a look at it and verify that it does fucking exist. That's what I need you for. Otherwise, it's going to be my word versus theirs, and the judge is going to, well, he's not going to take my side. I have a penis, you fucking twat. Tides of Change cannot be Tillamook County's victim advocacy agent. They can't do it. They're not fucking capable, they're not qualified, and they're not trained. According to, well, Tides of Change employees themselves. They don't have the fucking training. And they're not allowed. They're not allowed, they're not allowed. No, it's that they work with Tillamook County. It's an official fucking thing between Tides of Change and Tillamook County. That means anything doing with the fucking cops, they're not going to fucking stand up and do the right thing. So I got to try to find a place to go to work on this shit. I don't know how long it's going to fucking take. Claire is having a bad day. People are trolling her, so she's not able to do nothing. She isn't able to call, apparently. So here's the thing. We can work together. The biggest issue is that people all want help. They all need help. I'm hoping that the stuff with Claire, she had a bunch of her evidence of a bunch of the stuff that she's been going through that's similar. And she finally had the people that it was with getting back a hold of her yesterday. So I'm hoping good things come of that. Also, I'd like her to be able to tell her story on my YouTube channel. If he just got out of prison, he might still be feeling the effects of Ativan and Haldol. But you see why I was afraid of that situation. You also get to see that although I'm not allowed to be afraid when people are literally threatening to kill me and my family, that people will play victim over all sorts of goddamn things. And yes, I fucking yell. At first it wasn't directed at her, but very later I absolutely have to say that it was. I wasn't yelling at her. I was in a heightened state of fear because she was letting me know that I had wasted 3 goddamn weeks of my time on somebody who's not gonna fucking do anything. So I guess what we're gonna do here is plug in our electronics and press fucking play. All of my plans for today fucking got shot to shit. See, that's the thing. Family needed to be involved. Family needed to do something, because none of these agencies that are supposed to help out people who don't have families, none of them help us. None of them will ever make up for having one person who actually gives a shit. None of these people give a shit. They get a paycheck. That's what they show up for, a goddamn paycheck. They're allowed to get angry and irate with me and play fucking retarded, and that's the thing, is that Monica is playing fucking retarded at this point. No, Monica, you need to look at the fucking evidence. If you guys are not up to the task, you need to let the taxpayers know you're not up to the task. If you are not trained for the job, tell them that you're not trained for the job. Let the general public know how it really is. Don't make me fucking record it and don't fucking hide it. So let's press play on my little recording device here. I suppose we can go to, of course, we got the recording with Claire. She said that she would yesterday, but I think that was right after I turned off the camera, actually. So I might not have that recorded. Let's see. Misled the situation and said that I needed to drop a deuce. That's not it. Fuck it. Alright, so I gotta try to set up an appointment. I mean, it's... Obviously, I'm having a fucking panic attack, but... When I get overwhelmed like this, when I am going through this shit, it is impossible to keep a schedule. It is impossible to keep a sleep schedule. It is impossible to make appointments. It's impossible to fucking remember I'm having appointments because I'm still being victimized. Hey Monica, it's Sean.
Hello.
Hey, I have had a hell of a weekend. That situation with Molly resulted in a lot more harassment. There's a lot of witnesses. A lot of them are recorded. I got a few of their names and their numbers as well. The cop showed up. He didn't do anything again. I called the emergency line that you guys have for the weekend, and it's a different emergency line. It goes to somewhere else where they don't actually do anything, and I needed to be able to turn it in when it was happening, but I didn't have anyone to call. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. It went on for like 4 hours. There was people in the parking lot that were letting me know what Molly was doing and what she was up to. There's Fred Meyer's employees who've come up to me and told me what's going on and the crazy shit that she's doing. And like, I have it recorded. She's literally playing victim, and I am being victimized for it. I got the numbers of some of them. I do need to absolutely...
So we're gonna hear in this video how she starts playing fucking victim herself.
Absolutely get that turned in.
Well, the precursor's thereof. When you've been through this enough, you know what it's about. All women are trained to do this, and when they start doing it, it's fucked.
Are being taken away because of Molly. I have been done with her for 3 weeks. I literally have not started a conversation with her at all. At all. I have recording after recording of her coming up to me and starting shit and screaming and yelling at me, or she's trying to find Tom after Tom tells me I'm trying to get away from her. Don't tell her where I'm at. I'm like, I don't talk to her, dude. But now he keeps going back to the situation, and although that is his business, the fact is me being victimized for trying to help him. And there's also the fact that he was dishonest with her on multiple occasions because he didn't want to get in trouble, and I have that recorded as well. There's the fact that I do have recordings with him telling me that she is physically abusing him. And I, you know, after leaving there on Friday, that officer left a real nasty taste in my mouth with a lot of the stuff that he was saying. I had to look it up, and it turned out I was right about my is physical or personal contact. And when you're talking about personal contact, the way that that is defined is not physical touching. A phone call is considered personal contact. But the thing is that they're not doing anything about Molly. There are employees who have told me that they're concerned for my safety because of her. And I have one of the employees that I spoke with today, his name is Scott. And there's also a lot of witnesses that were in the parking lot. As far as that old man coming back and doing stuff, she's doing immediate harm here, and she has been doing it for 3 weeks. It was an emergency on Friday night, and even though I made calls, those calls didn't go anywhere. The cops told me I should call 911 right when it happens. The thing is, when I call 911, I get treated exactly the same as when I talk to them when they're up there in my face talking to me. They say the same thing as whether I call 911 or I flag them down when they're right there in the middle of the road. The thing is, I kept on getting harassed by this lady. She was pounding on my vehicle. There are witnesses to this. It's recorded on my YouTube that there are witnesses to this, that she was pounding on my vehicle. Ma'am, I need people to stop telling me that I need to just move away from these psychos. When you're homeless and you are stuck with a very limited amount of places that you're allowed to go, that you're capable of going to, or that you're not going to be messed with for existing in that particular area, the last thing you need is attention like what Molly is bringing me. Now that folks, the guy named Rob came out and talked to me at Fred Meyer, he was telling me about how she fucking lied to him outright. I have it recorded that she lied to him outright. But that's the thing, ma'am, is that I needed this when I first started trying to get something done with this situation. When I first got to this town, something needed to be done about the situation with Molly. This is 3 weeks of all of the resources that I did have in this town. They're all gone. She's cut me off from every resource that I had in this town, and no offense, but none of the other quote-unquote government resources in this town have done squat. So I need to find a solution. My car insurance is... the hoops for getting just the money to get insurance, that should not have been a big, huge deal. That should not have been something where it ended up me being victimized by Molly all weekend and being victimized by the cops. I got witnesses galore. They were wondering why it was that cop didn't arrest her the way that she was screaming at him. She is literally playing victim and trying to pressure and bully people into fucking harming me. I need help stopping this. I'm trying to do the computer stuff. I didn't have any money. One of the employees over there, Fred Meyer, I saw him up at the park where I stayed last night. That was a scary situation, and that's recorded. Why? The gentleman who was there this morning, he's got the kind of problems that my predators pretend that I have. I'm overwhelmed, and obviously I'm having difficulties with expressing myself, and I'm trying not to use a voice that shows how afraid I am, but I am scared, ma'am. I have been afraid for 3 weeks. I've explained it to police over and over. I have had cops... By the way, although my trauma responses, some of them are in this video and some of them are in the next one, those trauma responses, because of her playing victim, because of her exhibiting those signs and those traits. It's pretty easy to tell when somebody's fucking bullshitting you. They want to sidestep questions and not answer them. Did I light a fire over at Ken and Leah Plunkett's? Yes, I fucking did. Did I threaten to kill the President of the United States? Yes, I fucking did. You see how easy that is? I admit when I fuck up. I also admit when I am forced to do desperate shit, because none of these fucking agencies are lifting a goddamn finger to actually help. How am I supposed to trust somebody who won't look at evidence and wants to play fucking victim? Repeatedly tell me that the law is something other than what it is. I've had them, when I tell them that I am a disabled adult who cannot defend himself, then instead of actually doing what it is that they're supposed to do and an at-risk adult is being abused and telling them about it, they tell me that I am cognitive. Well, I know I'm cognitive. I'm not retarded. I didn't say I was retarded. I didn't say I was schizophrenic. I didn't say I was not aware of my surrounding. I said that I was being victimized. I said that I'm an at-risk adult.
By the way, it is the state's responsibility to press charges on these people.
Who are not qualified to make those decisions. My paperwork shows that I am an at-risk adult. It is not their place to argue with me over it. I've got those officers recorded, those actual conversations. I need help to turn those in. I'm about to go over to Fred Meyer's, which really is not a good idea, but they have a Starbucks there, and I can sit down at the Starbucks, sit down with my computer, and go through this stuff and try to get it sent to somebody who will actually do something. I need to send it to you guys as far as the emails go, but I also need to send it to the cops, so I'm going to try to do that. It would be a lot easier to be able to actually sit down in your guys' office and do this, but I understand that this time of day, it's not going to be an easy thing to do. I don't know when your next availability is going to be to try to do that paperwork and get that done and turned in, but I need help with this, ma'am.
Right, so you need a restraining order?
I need more than just a restraining order. This lady needs to be arrested for what she's doing. She has done this repeatedly for 3 weeks. I've been trying to turn it in for 3 weeks. It's more than just a restraining order, ma'am. This is criminal actions that I did from her. Repeated criminal actions. Her beating on my vehicle, that actually happened. She actually did beat on my vehicle. I have that situation recorded, and I have multiple witnesses recorded as well as having their phone numbers.
Okay. I cannot arrest her.
I know.
And here she is going playing fucking retarded. I'm not asking her to arrest anyone. This woman is going out of her way at this point to play fucking retarded. She went from being a reasonable and intelligent person to playing fucking retard like that. You fucking stupid sons of bitches.
Sure. What I'm saying is that I need
Now, mind
to be
you,
able to,
from here on in, she's going to make pretty much nothing but mistakes. So here's the thing, we need to verify it, and we need to verify it to the fucking public. No more hiding this shit. If you can't do the fucking job, you need to say that you can't do the job, and you need to let Tillamook County know you can't do the job. If you're gonna tell me that you're untrained, well, fuck it, we'll press play, won't we?
turn in abuse, not just get a protection order. I need to know that they are going to do something when I am victimized and abused, that they are going to arrest the perpetrator instead of doing this again. All right? I'm 3 weeks into trying to turn in the stuff that she was doing at the very beginning, and she's still committing crimes against me to this day. I can't go anywhere that it was sort of safe for me to go because of her. I can't go to the places where I have established, I've met decent people here. There's decent people at Fred Meyer that would like to help me out. It's difficult being as I can't go over there anymore because Molly is literally breaking into their building, fucking breaking and entering into their building to go try to pretend like I am some sort of a fucking horrible monster. She has help and I don't. I am afraid to go to anyone for help at this point. There's a lady also, her name is Claire, and she is going to try to help me to look at some of this stuff and explain to you guys how severe this safety risk is. How severe the quantity of abuse that I've gone through is, with you not looking at evidence and saying that you can't look at it until the cops are there. Like, anyone going to be able to advocate for me if they're not looking at the evidence? I don't need people to believe me or maybe not believe me, but just feel like this is what they have to do because it's their job. No, I need you to know that I am telling you the truth. These are actual crimes being committed. And that officer and his crap on Friday, Officer Martinez, that was inappropriate, is inappropriate, and it's never okay for him to lie to the victims the way that he did. It's also not okay for him to make excuses for my predators. That is not okay either. That is not his job. His job was to be there to investigate, to do something. As far as collecting any of the evidence, I gotta believe that he's going to do this on his own. No, he's not going to do it on his own. They never do. I'm homeless. That's the thing about an advocate, is that an advocate, if they have seen this, they can speak up and actually advocate and say, hey, these things are happening. So we need to focus on that. We need to focus on stopping the abuse that is happening. He does have the evidence. It does need to be looked at, and this needs to be stopped. It got out of hand 3 weeks ago. And instead of telling me that I need to move on every time that somebody victimizes me, this is why men kill themselves. When a woman is being victimized, she doesn't even have to be being victimized. Nobody is victimizing Molly, but I have been victimized for 3 weeks because she's victimizing me and Tom. And if somebody looks at the evidence, like obviously I think, if somebody looks at...
Do what?
Would you be using the mobile app?
No, ma'am.
All right, what can I get started for you?
I would like one huge coffee with 15 sugars and 15 creamers.
All right.
Looks like part of your board busted. Oh, it's back up. Never mind.
All right, will that be everything?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, $1 at the first window.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. All right. Guess we should press play again. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much again. I was the lady who sold me coffee yesterday or the day before. She also hooked me up with a couple of tobaccos, which was nice of her. Anyway, Molly, or not Molly, but the lady from Tides of Change.
Our coffee 1515.
Thank you, sir.
Right there.
Perfect. You'll get to hear when it is and what it is over that people want to start playing the victim card. When they don't do their job, it must be your fault.
The evidence, then they can actually advocate for me. Now, the lady that I spoke to this weekend, she was able to punch out all of the dynamics that I'm going through. She was well aware of the dynamics of it. Simple and easy. She wasn't able to do anything because it's the weekend and they're just a crisis line. They don't actually do anything. They just listen to you talk. There's a time limit on how long they're allowed to listen to you talk, and then they have to cut you off. She said that I should have an advocate. I explained that I had one, and that's who I was trying to call because I needed to turn Molly in again. That I had already tried turning her in earlier in the day, and that's what I needed to focus on. And that with the situation with the cop, he was focused mostly on that guy from the river, which is important. That did need to get turned in, but that officer needed to take that seriously, and that's hopefully what Claire's going to do. She's going to look at enough of the evidence to be able to tell you guys under no uncertain terms that my life and safety is at risk at all points in time because people are procrastinating or straight up not doing their jobs. And that stuff with the police, you know, if they don't want to do anything because they're not going to investigate because I'm homeless, yeah, that is something that is a violation of my rights as a human being. I am still a disabled adult. For them to try to argue whether or not I'm a disabled adult, that is not their right or their place. That is not their job. So at this point, I need to turn in police officers, including Mr. Martinez.
So turn them into who? Because if we do call the non-emergency number, just like we did last time, you would get the city police, just like we did last time.
Now, this is all useful information here, isn't it? It is.
And that's
Also
the
something
problem.
I was
We've
aware
got
of.
hundreds and hundreds of services that are supposed to help us, and none of them know how to do it.
That includes hers.
None of these agencies know how to turn in cops, and apparently the complications with trying to get someone to help turn in someone like Molly is...
Molly gets
One of
instant
the
results
things that
from
I've been
fucking
able to gather
bitching.
from the homeless here is that the folks at all these different agencies say that they don't know these things and they send you to somewhere else. The biggest example right now is CARE. Everybody sends these people to CARE. They get to CARE. CARE talks nice, but doesn't actually do anything. And CARE says that that's not what they do, and then these people go back to the agency that sent them to CARE. Oftentimes it is the police or one of those similar agencies, and they're told to go to CARE, and then they go back and they say, hey, this is not what CARE does. CARE told us that this is not what CARE does. Oh, well, I'm sorry, we didn't know. Well, you just wasted 3 days of somebody's time and all of their resources by doing that. You have procrastinated, and you've helped the predator to get away by literally telling somebody to go somewhere that's not going to do any good. Now, in all of this, the real serious situation is that you guys, if you understand the gravity of the situation, then there are a lot of options that you have that open up. But as long as you're not looking at the evidence and you're only listening to me while I am frustrated and creating a situation that it becomes more frustrated, I'm being sent from one place to another, to another, to another. That's going to be frustrating. I'm going to all of these places and being blown off because I am a male, and because I am homeless, and because I am disabled. All of those things make me an at-risk adult who is at risk of being victimized. Top of the list, matter of fact, in every single list. And as a result of that, yes, it needs to be taken seriously when I say that I am being abused, instead of people arguing over what really is abuse. Like, no, we don't need to go into the philosophical crap on this, and we don't need officers trying to pretend that every goddamn thing is a civil matter. No, this is not a civil matter. My life is clearly in danger. My safety is clearly in danger. My evidence is clearly in danger. And my vehicle has been pounded on. That lady has repeatedly stalked me for 3 weeks and done very dangerous things. Not just to myself, but to others. That includes Fred Myers. I understand that trying to turn in the police is not an easy thing to do, but the fact is, they still committed the crimes against me, and going to them and their co-workers is something that is extremely screwed up, because they're not likely to do anything. That's the thing about Claire. If Claire can help to speak with me and help to get you guys to take this as seriously as it needs to be taken before more people end up dead, there are a lot of dead people because of this situation that started all the way back in 2016. It follows me everywhere I go. My predators get to be predatory towards me, and I have to be afraid to go to the police because I'm going to get treated the way that I was on Friday night out here when Molly was pulling her crap. I have to be worried that I'm going to be treated the way that Martinez was. And sure, he said nice things, but he made zero effort to look at the evidence, comprehend the evidence, and he made more effort to make excuses for my predators in law enforcement than he did anything else, and that includes the situation with the dolphin. In order for somebody to advocate, I mean, there's a legal definition of advocate in this state, same as there is in Nebraska. But I have to take this evidence to people in person to show them, because I don't have the skills or the facilities to do it across the internet from my vehicle. This weekend, I didn't have any money.
I am not asking you to send me the evidence through online. I have never blown you off because you're a male, or because you're homeless, or because you're disabled.
I was talking about the police.
That to you. I'm very sorry, and we have tried to help any way possible. When you came in, you told me that you wanted to report.
It's all about her. It's all about her. It's all about her. I need her to take the situation seriously. I need all of these people to take the situation seriously, and nobody is taking the situation seriously. Her bias is definitely there. Now, some of these hoops, she's kind of sort of she explains she's willing to half-ass it. She's not willing to look at evidence, and that'll be later on in the video where she starts that. Now, this right here, she's going to start making everything about specifically her. No, it's not just her, it's everybody. If a woman went in there and got that kind of fucking help, you know, I was telling Claire about that place, and you know, I really feel bad for doing that. Although Claire is a woman, She's got blue hair or blue eyes and blonde hair. They're a lot more likely to listen and take it seriously. Well, let's press play. Now, she'll explain there's a lot of stuff here that I got wrong because nobody bothered to inform me. Now that I've been informed, I can make better decisions on it. I also need to verify it's
So
true.
I called. I got a release sign from you. I called and I got the police here, and you spoke with them. If you didn't like the outcome of talking to them, that was not my fault. And if,
Ma'am, that's the thing is that I need someone to advocate.
All right, so she's making it about her. The police did wrong things, and I need to turn it in. And she's telling me it's not her fault, not her fault. Stop making it about you. I am the victim, not you. Stop playing victim. You are the victim, Monica. And she's not understanding that. She's not getting that. She's literally doing everything that you're trained not to fucking do. But she's apparently not trained.
on it, but it's not my job to make the report for you.
I know it's not your job to make the report for me, but that's the thing about being an advocate. I know it's not your job to make a report. Are you a mandated reporter?
I am not. All our services are confidential. I did explain that to you.
Confidential services does not mean that she's not a mandated reporter. But she said she's not a mandated reporter, and she repeats throughout this that she is not a mandated reporter. She should not be doing this fucking job if she is not a mandated reporter.
So literally they're sending me to places that can't do anything.
I'm sorry that they sent you here, and my services aren't what you need. But I did explain to you the first time we spoke that our services are confidential, and I'm not a mandatory reporter.
Well, now that I know you're not a mandatory reporter, that is a lot of help.
Yeah, and this is why we got releases signed for me to talk to like the disability place and the call the non-emergency number and everything. Those releases were so I can speak with them because we are confidential, and I am not a mandatory reporter.
I need to
So
find
I'm really
a way
sorry
to stop
that they
this.
sent you to our agency when you needed an agency that had mandatory reporters.
Police are
Well, that's a
mandated
part of it.
reporters.
The other
Jesus
stuff
fuck.
that you guys provide, I still need. I still need to be able to turn in this stuff with Molly. Is there a way that we can do that paperwork tomorrow with that?
So for a restraining order,
Yes, ma'am.
okay. So do you know where she can be served?
Fred Myers. I've also got Tom's number, and Tom knows exactly where she's at. He knows where her camp is. I don't.
Okay, well, she will need to be served with it. So you would need to know where they can serve her with the restraining order.
Ma'am, that's one of the biggest issues that I've had, is that if I try to find out where she's at, then I get treated like I'm stalking her, because that is a stalking behavior. This is something that I've been dealing with for 6 years, ma'am. This is extremely sexist. It absolutely is, and it is across the board. People hold bias that they don't admit to, but their actions show different. There's a lot of
If you were a woman, I would also you would also still need to know where to serve a restraining order to.
I'm aware of that, but I'm also aware from experience how that works.
That's the
and how
thing, is that
police
she's
officers-
she's not trained. By her own admission, she's not trained. She's telling it's supposed to work, and she's literally going out of her way of her explanations of what she's allowed to do and not allowed to do. Basically, what she's saying is that she leaves holes. She's not going to look at the evidence. She's not going to verify the evidence. She's not going to speak up. She's going to leave it their word versus mine. She doesn't actually help. She's not an advocate. There's a legal definition of what an advocate is.
If their agency is supposed to advocate for victims, well, there's a very specific type of advocacy there. Also, she is a witness to the things that that officer said. All right, so Tom just messaged me. Not okay with that. Every bit of the harassment. Agencies will assist a female in harming a homeless victim by playing victim themselves, and this is what I'm dealing with. I have been served paperwork by my predators, by police officers who broke the law to have me served with papers, and then I was arrested to prevent me from turning in those officers when they broke the law in those situations, as well as preventing me from going to court in those situations. I know exactly how this works. It is sexist. I do know how it works. 100%. I have first-hand experience, one end of the country to the other, when it comes to female predators. Yes, it absolutely is sexist.
Yeah, so I am not going to be yelled out.
I'm not trying to yell at you. I am frustrated and having a fucking meltdown. I know that they have to have that place. I explained to you that I don't know where it is, but that Tom does, that I do have his number. I do already understand that I have to know where she's at. What I'm telling you is that police officers have repeatedly broken the law and misrepresented situations and lied to me when I was trying to turn in my predators, so that when I was homeless and not trying to hide from it, I was being victimized by these people and by these officers. They can find you and find a way to serve you with papers if you are homeless. The fact that I straight up walked to them to try to turn in my predators, and they helped my predators to do these things, but did not help me. Yes, it shows extreme. Now, mind you, I am in a heightened state because of abuse at this point. I'm not screaming at her. I'm in a heightened state of awareness, and my voice and my tone are obviously not happy. But it's a far fucking cry from fucking screaming. That isn't a whole hell of a lot louder than my normal voice. But it sure is not screaming. Now, she's lucky, because when people want to accuse me of screaming at them, I can scream at them. I have been screamed at. I have literally had to scream at Molly to get the fuck away from me. She has been psychologically torturing me for 3 weeks. I don't have the ability to do these things for myself because I'm homeless. You know how screwed up that is. I'm aware that it's my case. I'm aware of that. Here's the thing, is that she wants to tell me a bunch of shit that's pretty fucking obvious. She also, of course, wants to lie to me outright, which makes a trust issue. No, I can't fucking trust you to hate me if you're gonna lie. The fact that I need an advocate, that means someone who can actually speak for me. Somebody who can actually look at the evidence and actually help me turn it in. And I am glad that you made that call on Friday. But also the situation is, you said you can't look at evidence unless an officer is there. How are you?
Never say that.
You did.
I did not.
Well, that's good.
Sorry that officers have treated you like that, but I do not deserve to be yelled at for things.
I'm not yelling at you, ma'am. I'm not yelling at you. Ma'am, I am in a heightened state of fear. This is a trauma response. You guys aren't trained, are you?
So do you want to take a break? Do you want to breathe? Do you want to call me back?
I do want to take a break. I'd like to go in as soon as I can tomorrow to take care of that paperwork and turn in Molly.
Okay. Okay, so while you take a break, I will look at my schedule. You want to call me back in a couple of minutes?
Yes, ma'am.
Sounds good. Okay, bye.
Bye. I'm frustrated because I'm being victimized and she's making it about her. She's also claiming that she said things, or she didn't say things that she actually said. So, yeah.
It's a good thing there's
How am I gonna
more
trust her?
recordings where she goes out of her
But I
way to let
have
me
to.
know that, well, even though she's claiming she didn't say it, that's what she meant. We're about halfway through this. I think I can talk to her again. This is 27 minutes in.
This is what Natalie, Alicia, and Maddie did. And this is the kind of help that I got. But you know what? They got help. There are all sorts of services that help out women. They say that they're not sexist. No, they absolutely are. And they're not taking the situation seriously. I told them that I am being abused, and I told them that I needed to turn it in the first time that I spoke with the lady.
Alright, I guess we gotta end this video. It's frozen up. So I guess good to be rid of you. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper and no victim left behind. Hopefully we'll get this going again as soon as my phone cools down. It's getting pretty hot.